What's happening, boys and girls? I am the Anthro Metal, and welcome back to Today in Gaming, your one-stop source for all the gaming news cultivated from around the wide world of web stuff and everything about that. I hope you're having a awesome Thursday. Today, we have a good bit of news today. Some things dropped, and ha-hoo, is it spicy? So, just to start out with, first thing on the menu is that PS Now, the PlayStation subscription service that lets you stream games. They have a library of games you can stream from there. It's just like a kind of like Netflix almost. They are finally adding PS4 games. 20 games have been added to the PS Now library as of today. Titles that include God of War 3 Remastered, Evolve, and Killzone Shadowfall. There's a lot of other ones that have been added. There are not a lot of huge titles. A couple of them that are, of course, like the God of War and Killzone that are exclusives. But a lot of the other ones look like kind of similar to what Xbox already has as well, and other games that are offered around there, which is still cool. Still having it as a third party is awesome, and it's cool to finally see these coming out there on the, finally getting current generation games on the PS Now service. So hopefully that makes that service worth it too. And so moving on, biggest news of the day, in my opinion. So it's been teased for a long time. We've known it was coming. We didn't know when. And once I explain what this is about, it's going to seem mightily and hilariously appropriate. Doomfist has finally been announced. In a dev update today, Jeff Kaplan, the vice president of Blizzard and lead designer for Overwatch, introduced Doomfist. He is available now on the playable test ring, the PTR, which is where everything goes, like the kind of beta before it gets released to the public. And finally, it's awesome. Like we also got a origin lore story that dropped, kind of like an anime like story of him fighting off a team that of like Winston, Tracer, and Genji, and other stuff about him in prison. It looks awesome, and from all accounts, he's pretty awesome. So just to run down his abilities, there's a couple of really cool things. So he is an offensive hero. He'll start out with 250 health. So he is not super squishy like Tracer, but it still is pretty squishy. He is really melee focused, actually. He does have a shotgun in his left hand. Basically, like, each one of his knuckles has a shotgun, and like the HUD shows it like 4 shotgun shells. That's not his primary weapon, even though it is attached to his primary fire by default. His primary means is he does a rocket punch, which is a charge up, like Falcon Punch style, Falcon Punch, and charges through. He can knock people back into walls, and the harder it hits you and flies you back into a wall, the more damage it will do. So you get first the immediate punch, and then you'll take damage from whatever hits behind you. In the second ability, he does a Shoryuken, basically. It's a super uppercut, and it knocks people into the air. And so a lot of people have been testing it out. They can combo the moves together. They can uppercut, then rocket punch, and send people over the edge. Do a lot of really cool stuff. Set them up for other people, like volleyball players. It looks really cool. The next thing is that his passive ability before I get to his passive ability, his other ability is Seismic Slam, which is kind of like a Titan Slam from Titan Smash from Destiny, except when he smashes like in a cone in front of him, there's a certain degree it is. It looks probably about like maybe, I don't know, like I don't know what the degree of conage is or the area is, but he slams in front of him, and people that are near him, actually it hits him and brings him forward to him. So it brings him within range of his Doomfist. He has a massive gauntlet on his right hand. And then his passive ability is actually really cool. I'm going to talk about this before I get to his ult. His passive ability actually gives him a temporary shield whenever he lands a melee strike using one of his abilities. So it really encourages you to dive in, punch people, you'll get a shield. It goes away over time, but it can be stacked as you land more hits. So it's really designed, he's really supposed to be a flanker, gets in behind enemy lines, gets into the team, beats the crap out of people, really kind of disrupts their flow and everything. Now his ult is basically a super Titan Smash. It's called Meteor Strike. He jumps way up high in the air, gets a circle of, wherever he's going to land, comes, smashes down, knocks people down, does a lot of damage. So people will combo this, into a lot of different things. It looks really fun, looks really cool. And I can't wait to play him. Honestly, I want him to come to console very soon, because I really want to try him out and see how he is. Outside of, there's not a whole lot of players, like even I guess Reinhardt's the only true melee one. There's a couple others that are kind of focused on something like that. I mean, Genji's ult is melee based. He has a melee kind of thing. I'm probably saying something wrong here. I'm trying to think of the other heroes right now, and I can't really think of any of the other ones that are really like this. But I think it's funny because the way Jeff Kaplan described it is, he's supposed to be diving into enemy lines from way above. We're just coming out, wreaking havoc, out of nowhere. And this drop came out of nowhere. Just absolutely nowhere. Nobody expected this to happen. Just in the middle, we did expect like a Summer Games update to happen where it may introduce a new mode and Doomfist, possibly. But just to randomly, on a random Thursday, get Doomfist to drop out of nowhere. So, freaking Meteor Strike, Doomfist, just like his namesake, comes in. That's the biggest thing of the day, and it's awesome. So there's a couple more stories I wanted to kind of go over. So Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is the full title, which is getting a sequel, Shadow of War, later on this year. Well, it is currently heavily discounted by like 80%. It is currently sitting at $4 on both Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, on the PlayStation Store. So, and this is the Game of the Year edition that includes all previous DLC. It is a 3-year-old game. However, with all this extra stuff, people are just run out and get it. Why not? $4, everybody can spare that. That's like not even a Starbucks, like a coffee at all. So I highly encourage you. I think the sale lasts for like a few more days, so you still have plenty of time to jump in on that. Then 343 Studios did announce that they have launched a 2017 Halo celebration, and basically there's going to be 4 Halo games that get backward compatibility from Xbox 360 up to Xbox One, and those 4 games were all the ones that were released on Xbox 360. So we're talking Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. We're talking Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4 are all getting backward compatibility. In addition, they did confirm Halo 5 will get a 4K resolution upgrade for the Xbox One X when it is released. So we can look forward to all that in the coming time. They haven't announced too much else. They did say all the maps for those 360 games that were available at the time are going to be free on the store. So make sure to check that out as well. If you're a huge Halo fan, you get to relive all those awesome memories. And last but not least, the Destiny 2 beta dates and times got released today. So starting with the PS4, it is going to start on July 18th, and then the next day after that, it will start for the Xbone, and then it will become an open beta on the 21st and just last for the rest of that weekend. And then for PC, they have not yet confirmed it, but they did say it's going to start in late August. So if you did pre-order the game, those were what those dates are for Xbox and for PS4. Those are the dates that you'll be able to jump into Destiny 2 and play whatever. If it's anything like the first one, they'll open up the first section, maybe the map, they did on the first Destiny. They open up Earth and you have to play all the way through the first strike, and then that was it. They opened up the moon later and you have to play a little bit of it. It was almost like half the game at the time, but just be on the lookout for that. Make sure to jump in on that when you get the chance. Hopefully, we get more concrete details about the PC later on. Probably in the next couple of weeks after I actually expect after the console betas have concluded, we'll probably get that PC beta release. Holy crap! Slow down, right? We'll get that PC beta date in a more we'll get it hammered down. Hammered down. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me today. Is there any story I missed? Did you hear anything you liked today? Did I talk about anything that was like, awesome? Anything you didn't know about? If you didn't know about Doomfist, holy crap, be hyped, I'm hyped. And if Shadow of Mordor, $4. Anyways, I hope you have a great day today. I'm the Anthromel. This has been Today in Gaming, and I will see you tomorrow.